Alright, so far so good. Now the next step will be installing Jenkins. Again, how to install it? So simple. Just Google it, how to install Jenkins on Ubuntu 18. Okay, so no big deal actually. Just copy paste and follow the commands. And from here you can see that we need Java 8 installed before that. So let's start up. So from here, instance, just launch an instance, choose Ubuntu 18 or 8.20. It's up to you actually. I'm choosing 18. T2 micro. It will do the job. And this time I will not use public. Now this time I will use private. Only the people with the VPN key configuration file can access these private instances or these private servers. And in my case, which is the Jenkins. So you can see that the auto assign public IP is by default is disabled. All right. So you can scroll down, nothing to do here. So click on next, next. Let's put the tag and let's name it Jenkins. Okay. Let's click next. And this time for the security group, you can choose any security group you want, but actually it's not a good practice. The best practice actually is to create a security group. And you can name it Jenkins-SG, or you can name it CI/CD or automation or whatever. Okay. So in my case, I will use Jenkins security group like this, and I will allow that as such, as well as I will allow the HTTP and the HTTPS as well. Okay, but you can see that it is from anywhere, and we saw that it is not a good practice actually. It's not from anywhere, it will be from the VPN security group we have created. Okay, so if I type the VPN SG again, just copy and paste it. Okay, so that this VPN SG, only these people that have the VPN credential can access the Jenkins server. Okay, so it is not a public, it will be private. Now click on next, and let's click on launch and choose the key you want, choose whatever key, and we are ready to go. And if I click on here, you can see that it is pending. Let's wait a little bit until it is available. Now it's available and running. Now let's connect to it. Just copy and paste. Now actually you don't have a public IP because this is a private subnet, as you can see from the security or from the networking. You can see that this is a private subnet, which means that we don't have a public IP address. So we will use the private IP address, and don't forget that we need to make sure that you are connected to the VPN. Okay, so I search Ubuntu and this IP address, and it will be the AWS DevSecOps like this. Yes, you can see we are connected successfully because we are connected to the VPN. So actually, let's quit from it. And I want to disconnect from the VPN like this. And I want to connect again to see if we can connect or not. Let's clear this screen, and yeah, let's run again. Let's see. Actually, you can see that it is not working. And if I wait a little bit, it will show us the timeout occurred. Actually, I will not wait because we cannot connect. We need to connect to the VPN first, then we can connect. Ignore these messages. Okay, so let's connect now. Yeah, you can see that we are able to connect now because we are connected to the VPN. So far, so good. All right, now let's start downloading and installing the Jenkins. Now, actually, it is simple, no big deal. The first thing, let's install the Java 8. Well, actually, you can choose from any website because they follow the same procedure, no big deal. Okay, so sudo apt update. And here you can choose the sudo apt install open jdk 8. Okay, so sudo apt install jdk 8, yes. And actually, even though this is a private instance, you will notice that we are able to connect the internet. So you can see that we can update packages, install packages, whatever. And why is that? Actually, because we are using a NAT gateway. All right, now Java-version. Now you can see that we have 1.8, which is the Java 8 version. Okay. Now here to add the repository key name, so just copy and paste, and actually they are provided that. Then put the Debian packages repositories on the source list like this. Now let's update the packages, and then let's install Jenkins. Okay, as simple as that actually, no big deal. So actually you may face this error, which is the GPG error problem like this. Couldn't be verified. As you can see, no public, and this is the public. And actually the solution is using this command, apt key advertisement or dash key server and whatever, and use the reverse key and then put this public key. Okay. Now you may ask me how I get that. Well, actually I didn't invent that. I'm just copy and paste the error. Okay, so GPG error like this, and in Google I type it like this. How do I fix the GPG error no public? Yeah, it is my error. Just click on it here. If I scroll down, you can see that there are a lot of solutions, a lot of problems, and we have this solution that has 672 upvote. Just copy and paste it. You can see that where the public key is, you're missing public key from the repositories. Okay, so just copy and paste it like this and put that, copy, enter. Now again, let's sudo apt update. Yeah, no problem. Now let's install Jenkins like this, and yes. All right, so far so good. Now let's start the Jenkins. Just copy and paste the command. Then let's check the status for it. Yeah, it is running, but you can see that it is not enabled yet. So sudo systemctl enable, and this time it will be Jenkins. Well, actually you can enable it and start it at the same time by typing this option, which is dash dash now. But anyway, now it has been enabled. So far so good. Again, let's make sure that we don't have the firewall option, and let's put status. Yeah, the firewall is inactive. It's okay, it is as we want it. All right, so far so good. Now just copy and paste the IP, and of course it is the public, and of course it is the private IP address like this. Now you may ask me, but why this happened? Yeah, you can see that we don't have any connection. All right, it's good actually you asked me that, because by default we don't have any. So if I type netstat dash ntlp, and by the way, n, which means numerical, l, that they are listening, t, the TCP, and b is port, and you can see that it is opened from anywhere on port 8080. So on port 80 it is not working. So if I type 8080 like this, now you can see that it is still not working. And why is that? Well, did we open that in the security group? Ask me, I'm asking you. No, actually we didn't do that. So actually everything, every error we face, every problem we face, I intended to not remove it from, or to never cut it from the video actually, so I can show you that the problems happens every day, and you need to solve it. So that's it. Okay, so you can see that connection timeout. Yeah, of course, because here in the security, in the Jenkins security group, in the inbound, we didn't provide just 80, 443 and 22 only. So I need to add a custom TCP, and this time will be 8080, and actually this is a temporary. Just follow me for now. And yes, only from the VPN, and we know that, and we knew why is that. Yeah, saved. Now again, let's refresh that, and let's see what will happen. All right, you will see that it has been worked successfully. Okay, now let's put the admin password for now. Okay, just follow me in this, and we will change this ugly port to something better actually in the next step. Okay, but for now, just follow me. Just copy and paste this. Let's just get rid of the setup. Yeah, sudo. And yeah, actually this is another trick. You can see that we need a permission, so which means that this command I need to put sudo before it. So actually a trick for this, using sudo and shift the exclamation mark 2 times. Okay, so sudo like this, and it will give you the sudo cat whatever. Okay, so far so good. So as you can see, the command actually is sudo cat something. Okay, so and if I click on the, or if I press the up button or the up arrow, you can see that it will give me sudo cat whatever, not sudo the exclamation mark like these. No. Okay, so just copy and paste, and let's put it here. Continue. Never to save. Actually, I don't trust anyone. Yeah, I recommend you to do the same. So just install the suggested plugins like this. Now let's wait a little bit until it is completed. Yeah, sometimes this happened actually. Let's retry again. All right, so far so good. Now the username, let's name it user1, but please don't get confused between this user and the VPN user. Okay, actually let's change it to something else. So let's name it Jenkins1. okay, and the J is capital or J is small, okay, Jenkins 1, okay, the password is J capital Jenkins 123 123, okay, J capital Jenkins 123 123 user, and the J is capital to be more elegant. The email address, put anything, or it's okay, it's optional. So save. Yeah, you can see that it is invalid email a.com. So actually it's okay, anything. All right, now you can see that we can configure the Jenkins URL, and don't worry about it for now. Let's leave it as is with this port, with this ugly port, and actually we will get rid of it, don't worry. And let's save and finish and start using Jenkins. All right, so far so good. Now we have Jenkins, we have the user, and Jenkins user here, as you can see, it is administrator user. So if I click on here on Jenkins, manage Jenkins, I can manage Jenkins. I can do a lot of things actually because I am actually administrator here. All right, so far so good. Now in the next lecture, we will get rid of this ugly port actually. We don't need to put this port actually. We need to put the port 80, which is the default port, which is I need to put only the IP address. And actually, the better of that is by putting or using a domain. But you may ask me, I cannot purchase a domain in $12 or $50 or whatever just to use Jenkins. I know you are right, but remember, Jenkins here is a private, which means that we can make private hosted zones in AWS. And this is the next subject of the next lecture. I will see you there. Are you excited? Well, actually, I am. I will see you there. All right.